It's the Austro-Libertarian alphabet. E is for externalities. An externality is a cost or benefit imposed on someone who is not a party to the original action or transaction and who did not give consent. In theory, it's a way to describe unintended effects like pollution, noise, and congestion. In practice, it's a word progressives use like a freestanding argument, as if simply saying externality ends the debate and proves the need for state control. But externalities are not an argument. They are a symptom of public property. Externalities point to a failure to define and enforce private property rights. When ownership is clear, people can negotiate, set boundaries, and take each other to court. That's how externalities are internalized, through property rights and legal liability, not regulation. The libertarian approach to conflict starts with the question, who owns what? If no one owns it, no one has the right to exclude others or conserve or defend it. And if everyone supposedly owns it, that's equally as useless in resolving conflict. You think a factory polluting a river is a market failure? Well, let's ask, who owns the river? If the answer is the government, you've just explained the problem. Imagine if instead that section of river were privately owned. The owner could demand compensation or file suit or refuse access entirely. That is how responsibility is enforced and how land and water is preserved. We can look at a real-world example, the Kamoka Pearl farmers. After earlier farmers used destructive methods, the current entrepreneurs created their own sustainability standards, not out of altruism or environmentalism, but because they own their operations and care about long-term profits. They achieved conservation without aggression or government, just property, market forces, and voluntary association. If you're watching this on TikTok, link in the description. The problem of external costs is, in fact, a failure on the part of government to define and defend property rights. The remedy is in the absolute right of every man to own private property and to use it without aggression against the property of others. Where private property rights are fully assigned and defended, no externalities, no tragedy of the commons can arise. It isn't called the tragedy of private property for a reason. When a resource is unowned or publicly controlled, it is overused and abused. But when it is privately owned, the owner has the incentive and authority to preserve its value and exclude bad actors. As Murray Rothbard said, if A is causing pollution of B's air, and this can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, then this is aggression and should be rejoined and damages paid. So the next time someone says the market can't handle externalities, ask them, if property is the solution to the tragedy of the commons, why would it not solve externalities too? And remember, the market didn't create public property, the state did.